Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. It's another episode of What You Own. I got my brother here,
Zachary London,
and we are here today in Sandy Springs, Georgia. And today we're gonna talk about discipline. So, I kind of want to have this conversation with you, like, cause you like the main person who got the most discipline. I feel like, at least out of our age group. Yeah, recently acquired discipline.
Yeah, within the past, like, what, 8 months, 9 months?
I thought it was like a year now.
Nah, it ain't a year yet. Close, because about this time I was like starting to chop shit off. Can I cuss? I can cuss.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
I was trying to keep it wholesome, but you can do what you want to do. But I want to start off by defining discipline. So discipline, the practice of training to obey rules of behavior using punishment to create disobedience. So basically, you do what's right or you're going to get this whiplash of like punishment. So pain. So basically what's called negative reinforcement.
Right.
So I think what everybody knows that positive reinforcement is supposed to be a better tool to use. But I guess what do you think about when you think about discipline?
Discipline for me, what comes to mind is a quote by Warren Buffett. Mm-hmm. I'm going to read it off my phone real quick.
I don't know. Is Warren Buffett an ally? Like, is he for the people?
I have no clue.
But he got that wealth knowledge.
He's like a venture capitalist.
Yes.
So I don't know, bro. Fun fact, me and him got the same birthday.
So I did a fact check, and Warren Buffett didn't say this, but it's still a good quote. And yes, Warren Buffett and Zach do have the same birthday. Oh, yeah, so, he did say that.
Yeah. His quote was, "You will continue to suffer if you have an emotional reaction to everything that is said to you. True power is sitting back and observing things with magic. True power is restraint. If words control you, that means everyone else can control you." And I relate that to discipline because, for instance, just being a person of color, black, or a descendant of Africa, when people say the N-word,
I bet you won't.
Having control over your feelings and emotions, a lot of times we get in our emotions.
Yeah.
Right when that word is said. Yeah. So it's and what you do next can take you. That word can take you out of your character, and have you going down the wrong path, or you take the higher road and move on, or you find some way to find a respectful way to address that situation, to handle it in a way that won't jeopardize your future. Discipline for me is like everything, because it's like you can't catch any of your goals without discipline. Right. So I personally relate to that punishment side. Yeah. Just because your punishment is really your punishment to yourself.
So it ain't got to be nothing like externally. It can just be internally. You're like, damn, I should have did that.
Exactly.
You ever heard about the feedback loop from hell though? Like, it's a feedback loop from hell, meaning like, okay, of course I didn't do this thing I was supposed to do, so I feel bad about that. But the next time I'm supposed to do it, I already feel bad about doing it or not having done it the last time, and I don't do it, and now I feel bad again because I didn't do it the second time, and I'm beating up on myself. So and that was from I think Don't Sweat the Small Stuff.
Nope.
So he's talking about that. So what do you think about that? Like, is that negative punishment a good thing, or
that goes right to that in my opinion? Because for instance, that makes me think of food, and food is literally the first thing I feel like is a discipline level. I feel like it's levels to discipline, and your food intake is one of the first levels of mastering self-discipline, because it's what you see, it's what you can feel, it's what you do every single day. So it's like if you can master your food intake, and I know a lot of people they end up getting that spiral, that loop, like you just said, where they're like, dang, I didn't go to the gym yesterday, so today I'm gonna go to the gym, and then they miss it, and they're like, dang, I didn't go yesterday, so I didn't go today, so I'm gonna go tomorrow. And then that third day comes, and by then, man, you just going down on that loop. I know they say it takes 3 weeks to establish a habit.
Yeah, something like that.
So,
man, it take every day to me. I feel like a habit happens every day, bro. Yeah. Like, you have to do it just to force yourself.
Gotta be conscious of it.
Yeah, for sure.
What about the obey part?
The obey?
Yeah.
I think obey, I don't know, just because of our conversation we was recently just having, I'm thinking about like master, obey your master. Yeah. But I think I have this different definition now, and I'll say it in a second. It's about more so staying true to like who you are and yourself, and like, okay, having a defined set of values about yourself and like what you're gonna do with yourself, and then actually sticking to it. So it's like, I think that was in the same book. It's like, okay, if you make this about the actions and doing things that line up with your actions, you know, making a list and having that journal or whatever it is, and writing down your vision, making it plain. But if you say, oh, and you write it down, I care about mentoring other people.
Right.
And you're not mentoring other people, okay, no need to beat yourself up about it, but take steps towards that.
Exactly.
And then that's the way to keep yourself disciplined is saying, I said that I care about this.
Exactly.
So if you say you care about it and it came from nobody else, then it shouldn't be no problem for you to do it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
and nobody else can do it for you.
Yeah, so I feel like that's really the only true and, like, I guess, most effective way to do it. I feel like if you have to depend on somebody else to get you right and to do the right things, you know, you haven't developed enough in yourself. So.
To sum up what you're saying, I feel like you're saying, like, honor yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But in order to do that, you have to learn yourself too. That's what I was thinking about.
Exactly. And hopefully with this quarantine, people been looking in the mirror and actually taking time to reflect to learn themselves. Because that's an important thing, man.
Know yourself. Yeah. What's that Drake song? Know yourself. He got this. He always got some Jamaican. Patois song crap. But yeah, so I got this different definition. It's going to be my quote of the day. Discipline is constantly having the choice of what you want now and what you want the most and choosing the latter. So you always going to have to choose what you want the most. So being true to yourself, honoring thyself and saying, hey, like, man, I know I need this. And I feel like it goes a lot to, like, monogamy and polygamy, all that stuff, a different conversation, but it goes something like you constantly have to do this if you're trying to stay committed to one individual person into a relationship. It's like you got to choose, like, hey, I said death do us part, blase blase, and I care about this, and I said that if I said that, then I gotta make a daily choice to commit myself to that. So I feel like that's a part of discipline.
That is true discipline right there.
True discipline.
Yeah, that is some like, if you can be conscious of that, then you can be conscious of whatever other goals you have in your life, in my opinion. Because I know most people, their spouse is the most important person, and they're like one of the most important. Yeah. But yourself really is your most important.
For sure. So, I feel like yourself is important, but it's like that's a given. Like, we all got to look out. At the end of the day, you put people before yourself, but you have to live, so you have to live for yourself in a way. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's no way you can, like, throw out, what is it called? Self-preservation. Exactly. And just say, oh, I'm going to just do everything for, like, no, that's not how life works. It's a balance. So I guess I was going to ask about how do you find balance when it comes to, like, being disciplined? Because you were talking about food and how you can conquer that, you can conquer anything, but, like,
it goes right back to know thyself. Because once you actually know, I feel like you have to give yourself some type of standards to live around. Yeah. And once you actually know what makes me feel bad and what makes me feel good, and what can I do to consistently feel good. So for me, just using myself as an example, I used to get up at 4 in the morning to work out before I even do anything else, because I know that for me personally, I feel better after I work out in the morning. It sets me up for a great day. I don't like working out in the afternoon. I feel drained and tired then. So I had to be disciplined to actually find a work-life balance, to make that time to either get up earlier than everybody else, or I'm going to feel bad for the rest of my day. Yeah. And I literally do that with every single thing that I do, whereas I just lay it out in my head where I'm like, okay, am I going to feel better after doing this? Or am I going to feel bad after doing this? Or after not doing this? And I'm really looking out for my future self, just from knowing myself right now. Yeah.
That's a good one right there. Knowing, like, looking out for your future self. Yeah. 'Cause I think we can, like I said, like, choosing what you want most. Like, don't choose what you need right now. Like, hey, that instant gratification can come back and punch you. If you done lived a couple years, you know about instant gratification.
I feel like our generation, what gets us is that we are in that time. Yeah. Where everything is just getting faster and faster and faster. Like I don't even want to stand in front of the microwave 3 minutes no more, bro.
Bro, I remember, was it the video we just put up? Or it was something else. I sent this man a 30-minute video about something. He's like, I ain't even gonna watch this.
Bro, we need a synopsis now. like time is of the essence. Like time, once you actually get older and, well, even when you're young, because you can realize this when you're young, it's just, you cannot get time back.
True.
And when life has already made everything so instant for you, and you realize the harder things in life take a lot of time.
They do.
And then you're like, dang, I can't get time back. So that goes back to creating that balance again, because it's like when you start realizing anything that you want to master, it takes time to create. Like it kind of goes back to do you want $1 million today, or you want the penny doubled and tripled every single day for the rest of your life? Like, which one do you want?
I want the penny, boy.
Exactly, exactly. Like eventually, that's gonna be a billion. Like it's not gonna be $1 million anymore. I don't want that anymore. You know.
So you talking about like really kind of doubling your effort. Like if you can double your effort, which you really can't, but like just think about if you can double down on like the good things you did yesterday, you'll be. Hey, that's fine. Double down, bro.
Double down.
Hashtag double down.
Double down, bro.
Double down on yourself, and you're like looking out for yourself and others, bro. That's lit. Yeah.
all the people that are great, they always say, if you can spend 5 years working as hard as you know that you possibly can, then that's really gonna set you up 10 years ahead of time. So like just what you saying with that double down, bro. Like, it's really, once you actually think about it. I read a book where I don't remember the book's name.
He read a lot of books, y'all.
Yeah, a lot. But it talked about where they did a study to figure out like who in this workplace was actually working 40 hours a week.
Yeah. At
the end of it, they weren't even working half of that. They weren't even working 20 hours. Like their actual work time. Like when you actually think about when you actually go to work.
Productive.
And, when productivity. Yeah. How many hours are you actually putting in productive work? And
25, 30 tops.
Exactly. So when you look at that with your regular life, and you kind of put in, like, if I was to actually put in a complete 40 hours of work towards my dream or my goals or whatever, then that's going to set you up a lot further than where you could be if you continue doing what you're doing without your balance and discipline. You know?
Yeah, that's true, bro. Like, you got to be committed to. It takes a certain level of commitment. Like I was talking about with the relationships, it takes commitment to have the discipline, just to go for something. And I think this time of like looking in the mirror, like not even listening to yourself, but if you can just take a step outside of yourself, that makes sense, and like look at what you got going on in your life, analyze it. Yeah, you will be able to like see, okay, man, like is this the life I really want, and and like is that something you did? Because you said for the past 8 months or so you've been more disciplined. What made that click for you?
To be honest, I feel like it's what we call a coming to Jesus moment, where it's like it seems like the only times things click for people is when it's hit some type of low. Yeah. Like, it's like that's when, like, when you're out of your comfort zone, because when you're comfortable, you're just like, okay, I'm coasting through life, you know, I'm fine. But then once you actually hit that low and you have to come to reality, and you're like, oh, I got myself here. Nothing else really got me here. Like, maybe some circumstances here and there that was out of my control.
Accountable.
But you gotta hold yourself accountable, and I've hit enough lows, and you get to that point where you're like, man, I'm tired of this shit, and
time to figure it out.
Exactly. And I realized that what I was doing every single day, I thought, well, let me try the opposite. I started picking up books instead of watching TV. Yeah. And the more I read, the more I realized how much I didn't know. Just like that's one of the Einstein quotes. So he's like, the more I learned, the more I found out I
don't know anything. Yeah, me and him kind of talked about that. Like, I think I used to quote like, it's only the fool that thinks he knows everything. Yeah. And I talk about how like teenagers always think they know everything. Man. They know.
Swear I did.
The bare minimum about society.
Swear I did.
And life as a whole. So yeah, bro.
Shoot, after I learned about sex, what else I need to know?
I can make it work.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm gonna do it, dude.
Bro.
Oh man. But I'm gonna just close it out. I kind of want to just like cover the main points we got. So discipline. I think you agree too that like it's about kind of staying true to yourself and being committed to like what you really value.
Exactly. And
then also you got to double down on your efforts. So you may do one thing today and you know that goes to the right direction. Maybe try to do twice as good as that, or 1.5% as good as that the next day. And like your effort is going to be multiplied. There's a let me not mess this word up. Multiplicative aspect to it. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
I'm not going to repeat it.
So with that, I'm going to spell it out on the screen too to make sure I'm even saying it right. But yeah, so like whatever you're doing, keep Whatever you're doing, bro, like reevaluate it. Is it contributing to your life?
Exactly.
And see if you add discipline, if you take out one thing and substitute it with something, like Zach said, you took out TV and added a book in there, how it can change and how it can actually bring value to you and like help you towards something you care about.
And be honest with yourself.
Be honest, 100. Don't do the 100 like little emoji. Be 100 with yourself.
Yeah. First.
But that's it, y'all. Appreciate it, bro.
All right.
We gonna record another one, so it's all good.